Okay, so let's talk about a figure from the very beginnings of Islamic history, a companion of the Prophet Muhammad, whose personal wealth, if you were to adjust it for today, would be in the hundreds of billions of dollars. Yeah, you heard that right.
It sounds like a crazy question, doesn't it? But it really gets to the core of this story. We're talking about a level of wealth that's almost impossible to wrap your head around, all held by one man, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. I mean, his business got so huge that the caliphate itself, the superpower of its day, actually borrowed money from him.
So just how rich was this guy? Well, modern estimates are all over the place, from $60 billion on the low end to an incredible $600 billion, and some even push it past $1 trillion. But to put that in perspective for you, even that lowest number, $60 billion, makes him way wealthier than the richest Muslim alive today. His fortune wasn't just big, it was legendary.
But here's where the story gets really fascinating. This quote, it reveals this incredible paradox about him. When the Caliph Uthman was ill, he named Abd al-Rahman as his successor. I mean, that would have made him the most powerful man in the world. And what was his response? He prayed to die first. This wasn't a man chasing power. He was actively running from it.
To really understand that, you gotta go back, way back, to the beginning. Before he became a Muslim, he was basically a merchant prince in Mecca. He was born into the Banu Zahra clan. That's the same tribe as the Prophet's mother. So you could say wealth was kind of in his DNA.
Now his journey to Islam is just a wild story. He takes over his dad's super successful business, right? And he's traveling these trade routes to Yemen and Syria. Well, on one trip to Yemen, this Christian scholar keeps asking him if a prophet has shown up back in Mecca. The third time he asks, the scholar is insistent, saying the time is now. So when Abdullah Rahman gets back home and he hears the prophet's message, he just knew it was true. He became one of the very first people to embrace Islam.
And this just perfectly lays out the insane choice he had to make. As things got worse for Muslims in Mecca, he had a decision. Does he stay and keep his empire, his fortune, his high status? Or does he follow his faith to the city of Medina, leaving every single thing behind? The leaders in Mecca basically told him, you can go, but you leave your money here. And you know what? Without even hesitating, he walked away from it all. He showed up in Medina with absolutely nothing.
So picture this. He arrives in Medina completely broke. The Prophet had this system of pairing up the newcomers from Mecca with established families in Medina. And who does Abdul Rahman, once Mecca's richest merchant, get paired with? Medina's richest man, Sa'd bin Rabi. The stage is perfectly set for a masterclass in how to build a business. So Sa'd, in this just unbelievable act of generosity, offers to give Abdul Rahman half of everything he owns. His money, his houses, everything. But look at this response. This is pure, unshakable confidence. He politely turns down the handout and makes one simple request. Just show me where the marketplace is. He didn't want charity. He wanted a chance.
Now you have to understand, the marketplace in Medina was not an easy place to just jump into. It was totally controlled by a group of Jewish merchants who had some really clever tactics. They'd go outside the city, buy up entire caravans for cheap, which created an artificial shortage, and then they'd sell everything at a huge markup. On top of that, they basically had most of the local Arabs in a cycle of debt with high-interest loans. It was a closed system, a tough nut to crack.
So, what did he do? This is where the genius kicks in. Day one, he just walks around. He watches. He observes. He doesn't rush anything. Then, he spots an opening. With zero capital, remember he has nothing, he goes up to a seller and proposes a profit-sharing deal. We'd call it a zero-capital partnership today. Back then, it was mudaraba. He basically said, give me your stuff, I'll sell it, I'll give you your costs back, and we split the profits. And it worked. Soon, he started innovating, mixing butter and dates to create a new snack that everyone loved, doubling his profits. Then, he moves into selling horses, and immediately notices, hey, people buying horses also need saddles. That's a classic upsell, right there in the 7th century.
And this is the most important part. He didn't just out-hustle his competitors, he out-ethicked them. See, while they were being deceptive, hiding flaws in their products, he was totally transparent. While they were charging different prices to different people, he had one fair price for everybody. He was basically building a brand based on pure integrity. And while his competition built their businesses on debt, he bootstrapped every single new venture with his own earnings. Trust became his ultimate currency.
In a very short time, he became the wealthiest man in Medina, blowing past everyone else. But see, earning that fortune, that was only half the story. The other half is what he actually did with it. For him, wealth was never the end goal. It was a tool for serving others.
And his service wasn't just about money. I mean, yeah, he donated half of his entire fortune to fund the army for one expedition. But he was also right there on the front lines. In the Battle of Uhud, he took 21 sword wounds while physically protecting the Prophet, which left him with a limp for the rest of his life. The Prophet trusted him so much that he made him a military commander and, before he passed away, he entrusted Abd al-Rahman with the care of his own family.
So when he finally passed away, the sheer size of his estate was it's mind-blowing. The historical sources say there was so much gold that they literally had to break it up with axes just to be able to distribute it. We are talking millions of gold coins, thousands of horses and camels, and huge, huge tracts of land. And this was the end result for a man who started with absolutely nothing in that very same city.
So what was the secret, right? What was the philosophy, the mindset that powered this incredible journey from zero to billions? Well, it really all boils down to one single powerful idea.
When someone asked him the secret to his success, this was his answer. Now, obviously, this isn't about literal gold. It's a mindset. It's about seeing opportunity absolutely everywhere you look. It's about being proactive, having this relentless optimism, and truly believing that with hard work and faith, you can create value out of almost anything. And that really leaves us with this final thought. His story kind of forces you to ask, what is wealth really for? Is it just the number you have in a bank account? Or is it what you build with it, how you build it, and what you do for other people along the way? The life of Abdul al-Rahman ibn Awaf suggests that maybe true wealth isn't what you manage to keep, but what you manage to give.